Welcome back to the Automana podcast. This is episode 41, and you are joined with me, that real Shiesty, and my good friend here at JoshuaCast. And today, very quickly, we're going to be talking about the Reddit blackout as well as Kick and everything revolving both of those entities, or just about. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Twitch, like we're streaming live right now, YouTube, Facebook. Did I say that one already?
You say Facebook every single time, even though we do not have. That's one of the only things we do not have.
Oh shit, that's the only one we don't have. Oh, that's right, because we both got rid of our Facebooks. Okay, well,
YouTube,
whatever.
Apple Podcasts.
Maybe we should just do a fan podcast page just for shits and giggles, since I keep saying it.
If you want, go ahead, open the account.
You've been doing a lot of the heavy lifting. So if I'm gonna bite the bullet, I guess I could bite that bullet. But anyhow, you can find us on all those platforms, and probably some that I just missed. Josh, did I miss anything else?
Twitter to keep up to date if we ever have to change our broadcasting time, like today being Tuesday. And also just follow TikTok and Instagram for whatever clips we post up.
Exactly, bingo. And please drop us first drop us a follow, like, flood us with comments, and if you so choose, you may subscribe to us as well. But usually, we try not to beg and plead for that one. But we always appreciate you guys tuning in. And so we're doing a Tuesday stream. Usually we've been moving our time to Thursday, but this week we are compensating for me because I'm actually going out of the country for about 4 days, and I can't wait. I'm ecstatic. It's kind of why I really haven't been. Well, I'm
the AEW shirt you have on right now.
This is a AEW kind of ish shirt, but not entirely. It's not an official AEW shirt, but yes, it is wrestling related. I'm just like in a state of euphoria right now because Saturday was my first of 3 shows this week. I have another show tomorrow, and then the big pay-per-view is on Sunday. So we also already bought tickets to the Blue Jays game out there. It's can't wait. I'll be on the road in less than 36 hours from now. Or in 36 hours, I should say.
I thought you said this big event takes place in Canada.
It does. But
wait, so how did you catch the shows already? So did you go to Canada and back here?
No, no. So coincidentally enough, they did 2 shows in Chicago before going to Canada. So okay. Saturday's show was actually their first Saturday show for a new weekly episodic show called Collision. So that was held at the United Center. Wednesday is their Wednesday show called Dynamite. That is going to be at the Wintrust Arena. And yeah, it just so happens they do their 2, or what they call the go home show before the pay-per-view. So it's just a really, really heavy wrestling week. There'd be another show in Canada on Saturday as well, but we're not going to go to that. We're just going to go to the pay-per-view on Sunday. So
doesn't the game also come out too around that time?
Yeah, the game comes out on the 29th, so that's actually next week. Is that Thursday or Friday?
Oh, okay. Because for some reason I was seeing like Twitter headline. Well, obviously it's Twitter. You can't take everything as facts. But they're like, oh, it's great marketing. They're having this big event, but then game comes out like right then and there too, or something like that.
Yeah, I'm actually curious if maybe at the arena they'll probably have like kiosks set up to kind of demo the game. Maybe. Wouldn't surprise me.
It would have been cool if the game actually came out like a couple days beforehand. People could actually bring their physical copies there and get it signed by like either the developers or whatever entities that you need.
Yeah, could have been woulda, shoulda, but didn't. So I'm still actually a little disappointed they haven't come out with a like special edition of any sorts. I find that very, dare I say, disheartening. Like, I understand it's the very first one, so maybe they're reluctant to mass produce something that they don't know how it's going to sell. I really don't know, but nonetheless, I'm a little disappointed. I still don't even have it pre-ordered because I was expecting something to drop.
Oh, you haven't pre-ordered it yet?
No, I haven't. I don't honestly. As big of a fan I am, I will get it eventually, but I might not even be a day oneer because I'm going to be still having to play 16. So.
And 16 comes out in literally 2 or 3 days.
I know I'm gonna not be able to play it because I'll be on the
Yeah.
road. So, but with good reason. I'm gonna go enjoy myself. A nice little road trip is also really cool. I like road trips. So yeah, so that's kind of what's on my horizon slash what has already begun, so to speak. I still need to start packing. I haven't even started, but it shouldn't take me too much effort to do that. But I really am losing time because pretty much I'm going to do that immediately following this podcast, and then really that's the only time I have up until I leave early in the morning. But other than that, I do have a little couple tidbits to share. I don't know if you want to first steal my, well, not my, but steal the spotlight for a moment. You want to talk about what's going on in your world first?
So I feel like we're both going to share something pretty cool that we've picked up. So obviously last week I talked about Zelda, the
Yes.
DS I bought. I was, charging in all that stuff, seeing what else was in it. Apparently this game has a delisted game on here. Zelda something Four Swords or whatever that you cannot buy anymore because the eShop's closed. So
Interesting.
I pretty much got a free game that came with this, and because you could transfer digital games from the old 3DS games, I put it on my new 3DS, so I still have that game as I've sold this one already that I just have to ship this out.
How much,
But
if you don't mind me asking, how much did you actually get for it?
so I sold it for $215,
Nice.
but $15 goes to shipping, so it's really $200. Well, $200 plus a little percent that eBay takes, so I'd say maybe 185.
Nice. Nice.
So I mean that's
Awesome.
$100 that I got that just because I bought that for $8. But because of that, I also picked up Crash Team Rumble. It's one of the few games I did pre-order this year. I'm looking forward to it. It just came out today, still sealed, so I plan on opening that up. And tonight's stream after the podcast this is what I'll be playing.
Nice.
But on top of that, because I'm celebrating
What,
what?
if I may ask, what kind of game is that? Is it like a racing type,
So
like
no,
fighting game?
I think it's just like a multiplayer shooter game, which I was a little
Oh,
upset
okay.
about because I thought this was gonna be like
Like a
Crash
party type
Bash.
game?
Yeah,
Oh,
but
okay.
it's Crash Bandicoot. I had to get it. It's like a 6-player co-op game or a 4-player co-op game where
Okay.
teams are versing each other.
Okay.
Really don't know much about it except for it's Crash Bandicoot, and I just needed to get it. But I know that I said if I ever seen a Street Fighter's Collector's Edition in the wild, I'd pick it up. I picked up the Street Fighter's Collector's Edition. It's right here. It was $249, and it was the
Wow.
only one left on the shelf. And it so happened to be a PS5 copy. So I was like,
Mm.
all right, I'll take it. The
So
guy,
that's
what?
that has what, like two statues in there?
So they're not actual statues; they're more like action figurines.
Oh,
So they're
okay.
kind of lame. I did open it just to see what to make sure everything's inside of it, obviously.
Yeah.
And then when I seen it, they're just like that tall, maybe like 6-7 inches tall, and they're
Mm,
movable, just like normal action figures. I was
yeah.
a little disappointed with that because I was hoping that they're gonna be real statues,
Yeah.
but that's beside the point. But
Yeah.
the art book in there is pretty cool. The game is in there. The game comes with the ultimate pass, whereas you get all the characters for year one and some other like digital
You
currency,
get
whatever.
you get all the characters for year one, and they're only releasing two.
Yeah, that whenever I see like the fight pass or whatever, I'm like, I know that that's gonna cover not even 20% of what's actually gonna be released. So I'm just like,
Yeah.
I don't care about that. It's
Yeah.
just a collector's thing. But I said I was gonna do it when I seen it, and I seen it today. The guy at GameStop I was talking to, I lost picking up Crash Team Rumble because he see me looking up at the thing. He was like, "It's the last one we have, and a lot of people have been eyeballing it, but haven't pulled the trigger yet." And I'm like, "I know you're lying to me, but you sold me."
Oh, I should have. If I would have known, I think GameStop has a Pokemon TCG promo out right now. I would have told you to try and snag some, but oh well, it is what it is.
Oh,
Cool. That's
I'm surprised you weren't gonna lead up with your little cart pack you just bought recently.
well. Eventually, I was gonna get to that, but I wanted you to talk about you first. But sure, we could ping pong back and forth. But yeah. So I was trying to remember, was it the last podcast we did, or if it was like 2 weeks ago? But I had laid mention that I was looking to purchase some Magic the Gathering cards, mainly because there is at the time there was a $1 million bounty on a particular serialized, pretty much a one of one card of the One Ring. If I may go into a slightly longer story, my dumbass didn't do his homework. So I had mentioned, I think I had mentioned I bought 2 booster boxes. Little did I know, those booster boxes have 0% shot at getting that ring. Upon further research, there is something that's called a collector's booster box. That is the one of 2 only products that you could actually get the ring out of. And you know how much that fucking box cost?
$250.
$200 more than that. For a box. Yes.
So $500?
$450.
Oh, I thought you said 200 more. I was like, oh, it's too.
I thought you said 250. My fault.
No,
My fault.
I probably did. I just couldn't remember.
Okay.
$450? What?
$450.
That's crazy.
So I did a little bit of this, and it didn't take me long. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go buy one. So on Monday, well, yesterday, was the actual, I guess depending on your geographic location, but around me was the actual first day of the pre-release event. So I found a new game shop nearby me, which was actually pretty cool because they also do a lot of board games. They even do like Warhammer 4K. I remember one time you were talking about that. So really nice, clean place.
Do you know the name of it?
Yes, it's called Fair Game.
Fair Game.
Yes.
Is it
really
like
cool
Countryside?
place. There is one in LaGrange, but that's not the one I went to.
Because I know
I went to the one.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's not Countryside, but you might be thinking of one LaGrange because they're kind of right next to each other. There is one there, but I went to one in Downers Grove, so they're still both relatively close to each other. Really nice place, really clean. Parking sucks, but yeah, I went in. I said, I'm looking to buy this, and she's like, you know how much this is, right? I'm like, yes, I do. And went home, recorded it on my phone. I broke the box, not knowing anything about the product other than that one card, which I think the bounty has gone up to $2 million, by the way. So opened the product, just did my thing, like, look at this, blah, blah. Unknown to me, until after my break, I started doing even further research, but I actually pulled, for the benefit of those that are not actually watching this, but maybe now you'll want to watch it, actually pulled this Elven Soul Ring card that all the text is written in Elven, I believe. I can't translate it. And this, even though it's not serialized, because there is this card in a holographic form that's serialized to 300 cards, this one is only, they only printed 3,000 of these. And then there's 2 other versions, because this is the elf version. There's a dwarf version that is up to 7,000 non-hollow and 700 serialized, and then a human one for 9,000 cards, and then 900 serialized at holographic. So nonetheless, for my further research, this is, I guess you would say, the 4th rarest card of that product. Currently, I'm pulling you because I don't have any marriage to this. I have mine on eBay. I don't know if I'm allowed to solicitate that, but I'm going to anyway. So far, the lowest one has a bid for like $400. I put mine for $500. I've seen them go up to $800. So of course it still needs to sell, but if it does,
you made your money back?
I guess I'm getting my money back and maybe a little extra. But the cards are really nice. It was a fun box to break. Like I have this other one listed too of Gandalf, and it's kind of a holographic one. It's really hard to. There you go. I could kind of shine it against the camera there. But yeah, the product, like I said, even when I was breaking the box, like I'm not a Lord of the Rings guru or nut, but I do appreciate the IP. If this was like in Warcraft form, I'd be all over it and jizzing all over the walls, but it's not. And we'll see if that Street Fighter one is still in the horizon, because I might just pick up a box of that too, just for shits and giggles. Because, yeah. So that was kind of my my dopamine fix yesterday.
That's pretty cool. I actually seen the YouTube video because I seen what you post on Twitter. I was like, I know he didn't pull the ring. I'm like, he probably pulled one of the other rings, and because obviously he put a clickbait title, which I approve of.
Yeah.
And I was reading the comments, and the guy was like, you could tell he wanted to correct you, but then luckily your comment kind of dissuaded his correction comment. And he's like, oh yeah, but it's still really cool. Good for you.
Yeah, I mean, it really is because you said you watched my video, so like while I was breaking it, I made the comment that, oh, there's probably one of these per box, right?
Mm.
And once you get that card, the odds of you probably getting the other or the one that everyone wants is probably non-existent, right? That remark is probably still not correct. I'm pretty sure you could buy and rip one of those boxes in full and still not get one of those cards. But what the hell do I know? I don't know what the print run is of this product. It sounds like there's a shit ton. And then, like, you read comments online and they're probably correct, but like, why would Wizards of the Coast ship out the ring now, right? Like, because the value of this product is just plummet if someone were to pull it.
Yeah, they're probably gonna wait for like last print copy and just let me as it goes.
Exactly. So you could only get it out of those boxes, or there's something called a gift collector's box or something, or gift collector set, something like that. And it's kind of like, if I may compare it to Pokemon, it's kind of like one of the Elite Trainer boxes. It comes with like 6 regular booster packs. It comes with the die, a bunch of land cards. So you could pretty much build a deck, right?
Mm.
And it comes with only one of those collector booster packs that you would get in the box. So my theory is I would probably gamble that the ring would be in one of those boxes rather than the big boxes. So, but we'll see. It's still pretty cool. I probably would have really shit myself if I got a serialized version, because those are being listed for like over $10,000 right now.
Wow, that's crazy. Pretty cool. I do like the fact that they are keeping to the lore fact, even though obviously they're playing with numbers here a little bit. Because in Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, there was only 3 wings for the elves. What was it, 7 for the dwarf kings, 9 for the human kings.
Correct.
And they obviously the one true ring that Sauron has. But
yeah,
I love the fact that they obviously kept the original numbers, but just edited like 2 or 3 more hundred
zeros. Yeah. I think it's really cool too.
I just hit my tongue and drooled a little bit.
Nerd.
I know. I got caught. Like, it's funny. The way I was talking, it's like I did a weird thing and then just whoop, right out.
Now you know how I felt when I pulled that Giratina. But yeah, it's I think it is really cool. I think it would be also cool if they did actually just do a 379, and maybe they were like, I don't know, something better than a holographic. I don't know what Magic has that might be better than a holographic, but I think that would be even super cool. But according to like the press release stuff that they've done, that doesn't exist unless maybe it's a surprise. If it's a surprise, then holy shit, those are probably worth a lot of money too. But yeah, it's kind of cool that, like I said, I don't have a personal investment into the product. So I compared it before on the podcast where it's like gambling. That's exactly what I did. I freaking gambled. And, dare I say I won, but it's kind of cool. Just ripping it nonchalantly, not really knowing what you have. And then you're like, oh, okay, I actually got something pretty cool. So
it seems like that's what everybody's like chasing for now, is just that thrill of the hunt. Like, that's one of the main reasons I love going to like thrift stores, pawn shops, because you'll never know when you come across like a golden item like this. You're like, oh man, that's severely underpriced. You pick that up and you just feel giddy because you're like, oh, I got something that nobody else would have got normally, and I got a pretty huge deal. So that's pretty cool.
Right.
So
yeah.
do you think you're gonna buy any more boxes, or are you gonna wait to see if that one card sells before you buy another one?
That's a very fantastic question. At this time I don't plan on it. I mean, 450 to drop, and then there's still no guarantee. Like, if I had a better I don't know. We'll see. If I had a better like investment or even just a personal collection investment aspect to the product, maybe. But since I don't, probably not. I think that was kind of my one and done. Unless by some miracle, somehow, some way, this card ended up pulls more than 1,000. Yeah, probably, but I highly doubt it. Highly doubt it because I haven't even got an opening bid yet. But there are some out there that have reached 600, 800 with bids. So that's why I'm a little, dare I say, disappointed that no one's bid on mine yet. Because there's actually a few live ones that are that high. So
well,
I'm thinking what's going to happen
is
is
that there's a serialized one, and that one isn't serialized, right?
well, I'm talking about ones that are strictly non-serialized. So
Okay.
since there's very few on the market, or at least the eBay market right now, I'm thinking what's going to happen is whoever doesn't win the initial auction, then they're all going to go to the next one and then to the next one. So depending on timing where mine's at, I think that's when the bids will start happening.
Okay.
And probably there's still probably a group of people that are just feeling it, right, and just kind of watching to see what the market is actually going to bear for it. So yeah, we'll see. I just immediately try to get it out there ASAP. So while it's hot,
How much time did you
before
put on the bid?
7 days, a whole week,
Oh,
which is what I normally don't do. But the only reason why I did is because I'm going out of the country. So
okay.
yeah.
I mean, you're not new to eBay, so you know how it works.
Mm-mm.
Usually, like the last like hour, 2 hours, that's when the bids start coming in.
Oh yeah, people try to
Um,
snipe it. Yeah,
so did you put the
I was
floor
I
bid?
was good at sniping on it.
Did you put
I
the
loved
floor
it.
bid at 500, or what did you put the
Yep,
floor bid at?
I put the floor bid at 500.
I feel like that. Do you know what the floor bid was for the other cards?
I do not. I do not.
Because I hate to say it, but a lot of people, even though it most likely will go past that limit, a lot of people still look at that floor bid as like, we might skip on this one.
No, you're not wrong. But I mean, like, if history shows that it's going for, we'll just use an average price of 800. 500 at that point is a deal.
Yeah. Well,
But
hopefully
I
it
don't know.
sells for
We'll,
that much.
yeah, I'm hoping on it too. Otherwise, dare I've had a history of sometimes overvaluing cards as well. But right now the market's seeming to bear it. So we'll see.
Yeah, since it's new, most likely, even if it is overvalued, they'll still sell because nothing's worse than holding onto it and then selling it later and you realize it just crashes.
Not only that, but I'm sure this one, in comparison to the serialized ones, although the serialized ones will probably still happen too, is they'll eventually people are going to start grading them and everything. So far, there isn't any that are graded, which I think is very interesting. Because usually, like at least even with Pokemon cards, when a set is new and fresh, in the matter of a week or less, someone just speed sends it in and pays whatever it is to get it back in like 48 hours. It's ridiculous. Like, I don't know. The grading thing is weird. I never got into that. So, but I'm probably missing out on cash. But
Or you could be spending too much and actually wasting money, like, you
that's
know,
true.
Toothless. He did his grading thing before everything happened,
Hmm.
and he
Hmm.
spent like 300-400 bucks just to get it like shipped out. That's just for normal stuff.
Yeah, I know.
And it took a year and a half for him to get his cards back, and even
Hmm.
then they weren't really worth much. They almost actually devalued because of it.
Yeah, that's a shame. That's
So
why, like, I like my personal collection stuff. I have nothing graded, or at least I've got nothing graded. Do I have a few graded cards through single card purchases or trades? Yes, but very few.
mhm.
Probably like 3 or 4 total of my entire collection. So, but yeah, that was kind of my high for the last few days. Just leading to it, doing the research, and then finally pulling the trigger on it. And yeah, it was a fun break. I was happy. Plus, while I was there, I ended up BSing with some guy that actually collects Pokemon cards, and he told me about another store that's closer to my house that I had no idea existed. And the reason why is because, like, I guess they have no signage.
One of those
It's
obscure
like,
hole in the walls.
yeah, exactly. And I haven't gone there yet because that same day, um, they didn't open till 2 o'clock, and the store I went to opened at noon. So I think 2 o'clock every day to open is kind of weird. But I'm guessing it's probably like, you know, privately owned or something. So that's probably the guy's only schedule that he could actually open it and close it. So I want to check out that place too, because supposedly from what he was telling me, that's the Pokemon card spot.
Oh, really?
So yeah, so I was like, ooh, I need to get my ass over there.
So they're probably saying it's like so. I've been there used to be a card shop over here called the Dungeon. This was a long time ago. They closed it down, but the reason why
Was
Dungeon
that the one that was on Southwest Highway or no?
no, it was the one
No.
on 79th Street, close to Harlem.
Okay.
But it closed down like over 10 years ago.
Okay.
But people used to go there all the time because even though it was just like a hole in the wall and it was locally run, a lot of people would go there to play games, and because of that, they would do a lot of tradings there, and it would always be single card values that they put in, and usually those cards would be like super extremely high, whatever, and then that's why people would go there because you're like, okay, if you're looking for a rare card, most likely they'll have it because everybody trades there. I wonder if that's the reason why yours is like that too.
Yeah, I'm not too sure, but I definitely want to freaking walk in there with like 2 boxes and be like, anybody want to buy some Pokemon cards?
they look at the box like, only energy cards? What?
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Well, they're holographic energy cards.
I wonder if anybody's ever done that where they like buy like the most common box ever and they're like, oh, look what I got something cool, and everybody's like, yeah, get out of here.
Shit, that used to be the way it was in, what was it, 1999 or 98, when they had the Machamp booster, like the deck box where you're guaranteed the Machamp holo and then 60 cards just to have a basic deck. Now that shit's worth like freaking, I don't know how much money if you have one sealed. But back then it was like get out of here with that trash.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so that was my my thing within that, between that and wrestling. That's all I really had in between the last podcast and this podcast, since it was a shorter frame. Still have not done the 16 demo, and at this point it doesn't look like I'm going to. So it's going to be straight to retail for me.
That's fun. When you play it, you're gonna enjoy the demo part of that game.
I'm sure I'm gonna enjoy all the game. And since I brought up 16, by the way, sorry if I keep if you are about to start talking, but really quick news story. I just saw on Twitter, really before we started the podcast, somewhere in London, they're actually gonna have the Clive's replica sword on display, but with other like old kings, knights, armor and swords on display. Like it's pretty interesting. Just for those that want to dig that out there, it's kind of a big deal. So
that's pretty cool. And this is only in the UK?
Only in London. It's a big deal because it's an actual spot where it's like a museum where they actually have previous kings, like actual kings, their armor on display, and they're gonna have Clive's sword amongst all the regalia, and that's a first. So for any Final Fantasy game, so it's kind of a big deal.
That's really pretty. I mean, that is really cool that they're having a full size replica there.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny that you mentioned that it's going to be in the Thing of Kings because they advertise him as a knight. And did they say in the trailers what he is to royalty? Because I don't want to ruin it if you didn't.
I don't recall that. No, I do not.
Okay, because originally I thought he was just a knight, and that's all he ever was. Mm-hmm. The demo tells you more.
I mean, I figured the fact that he is transforming probably kind of alludes that there's more to it.
Well, it's not even like it's like the trailer that they showed is like misleading because in the demo they tell you straight away what he is. And then yeah, that's why when I play the demo and I compare it to Hamlet, because that's pretty much what it is, with royalty. But yeah, it's good. I can't wait for it to come out. Man, so many games to play, man. Crash Team Rumble. I legit probably will only have one day to play this game, and then immediately get ready for Final Fantasy 16, just so I can upload it all at once. But dude, yeah, this whole summer, this whole winter is just jam packed with games I have to play.
And tomorrow, we may get a couple more that we didn't think we would get this year with the Nintendo Direct. Maybe, just maybe.
People are saying Metro Prime 4. People are saying
that's the big rumor, and since it's such a big rumor, now I'm thinking it might not even happen, and people will just be setting themselves up for failure and disappointments. But we'll see. We'll see.
I'm gonna call it here.
Call it.
And this is a big stretch. They're gonna announce the new Switch.
Really?
And they're gonna announce it either for next year around this time or for 2025. But they'll give you like a quick little teaser snippet and be like, new product, and then that's it. Just like a 5-second teaser.
That's on your bingo card, right?
I feel like it's about that time.
It's not the free space. It's just a stretch, but it's on your bingo card. Okay. I like the proclamation.
Because we are getting close to that time. I know I said that the new console is like 2 or 3 years out, which it still is, but it's around that time where you at least start getting a little hint or teaser for what it would be.
So, if I may back up your prediction here a little bit, I'm not going to go ahead and predict it with you, but to back you up, there was an article that just came out about I forgot the company that's behind the Rabbids games. That's not Ubisoft, is it? No.
Yeah.
Ubisoft. It is Ubisoft, right? Yeah. They came out and said that they kind of regret releasing their games on this Switch and they want to wait for the next generation. So there might be some credence to that.
Well, it's also one of the main reasons why, because I'm like, they already launched Tears of the Kingdom, and that's too big stuff, so they have to have a big seller. And in my head, I'm like, that's the main reason why they stopped talking about Metro Prime 4 for a while, is because they might want like
the next gen,
a launch title for the next gen.
That would be pretty badass. That would make sense. I mean, Zelda's gotten it for like the last 3 gens. Metroid due to launch with the console, yeah, sign me up.
Because if you think about like Metro Prime 4, the last time we seen an actual like they teased it like 4 times. One was like 2014, 15, whatever. Then 2017. Then we've seen something else in like 2020, 2021, and it's been radio silent since. I'm like, they probably realized that they needed more time to cook, and they're like, if they waited this long, why not just wait a year or 2 more for the next system to come out and just make it the best it's ever been?
So I believe it was sometime last week that it was 4 years to the date since they teased it. They pretty much all they said was in production. That's it. That is it. Not even a screenshot of what something may look like. Even the logo is probably changed by now. So, and how long did Tears take? 6 years, right? So let's say that 6 year is kind of, I wouldn't say a benchmark, but something of an average year. So 2 years, new console, kind of equating. Kind of equating. So we'll see. That'd be some big and more positive news for Nintendo all across the board if that gets announced. I mean, we already know Pikmin 4 is going to be in the spotlight, but a Metroid 4 teaser would be, bring it on, Nintendo.
Yeah, because if you look at like PlayStation or Xbox, like they usually give like their new system a year and a half just for the circulation to happen, word of mouth, whatever. And like I said, it's just that time to hear a teaser.
You know what else I would like with Metroid? I mean, give me a Metroid Prime, I'm all for it. I think what they ought to do with this game is also have a multiplayer, like shooter function. So there's actually like replay value beyond the story game.
Is that why we're waiting for the next Switch so the multiplayer can actually be good?
maybe like they could all be Samuses. I don't care. Give me different color Samuses, 4, 6, 8, all different. Doesn't matter.
That's pretty much what Halo is. I mean, obviously they now call them different Spartans, but originally it's just Spartan 1, 2, and 3, which were designed after Master Chief, just different colors.
Correct. Exactly. Just do it. Just have an extra mode. First-person shooter. Doesn't have to be super flashy. It could be function like GoldenEye.
Yeah.
But that'd be cool. We'll see. I mean, unfortunately, I won't get to stream it tomorrow because I'll be at work. I don't know if you're going to do that. I hope you do, and hopefully you get tens of thousands of people watching it with you.
Yes. I just had to figure out what I want to stream it on. It's either Twitch or YouTube because I can't do both anymore.
Are you trying to make that a segue?
No, that's for later.
But anything else you want to bring up?
That's funny. I was actually going to bring something up, but now I forgot it.
Oopsie. That's my fault.
It was no. It's fine. It's related towards like stuff coming out soon. All right, we'll just pass. If I think about it later, I'll bring it up.
Yeah, you'll bring it up. But anything else that you want to bring up?
That's pretty much it. Just the Nintendo Direct news. Lots of games to play, and that's it.
Awesome. Now, apologize if I'm forcefully bringing you to the spotlight, but I thought you wanted to bring something up from your personal life on the podcast. No?
No, that was just for you.
Oh, that was for me?
The third
Okay.
big news was for the Street Fighter.
No worries. Okay, perfect.
All right, so you ready to move on to topic number 1?
I was just pregnant. I'm just playing.
Whoops.
Yeah, sure. Let's go.
I had the wrong one on, but wait, what? Oh my god, I forgot to change this one earlier. Now, I apologize for you seeing my end. It's not the Apple Vision, whatever we talked about last time. It is the Reddit Revolt. So I purposely said it this way because for those that don't know, the last, I think 3 weeks at this point, Reddit has been having an internal war with their own Redditors. A lot of the subreddits that they have gone dark in a unison to protest Reddit's decision to basically completely remove third-party apps and connections to their service, which people use to either, activate news networks or feeds, whatever, alerts, whatever they had needed. But because Reddit decided to take third-party connections out, a lot of subreddits went down, and they've just been boycotting ever since. And since then, Reddit has been throwing a little fit, saying that it's these moderators for these subreddits claim too much power. They shouldn't be allowed to hold it. These subreddits down, blocking people from accessing it. I'm like, that's not the case because anybody can create a subreddit. So the popular ones that everybody uses because they trust it are all just in unison. So with that, Reddit decided to make an announcement that they're going to be having what they call a democracy system, where if they will have every user, and this is where it gets sketchy because it says every user will now be allowed to vote if a moderator should be taken off as a moderator or not. And obviously, depending if the majority says yes or no, that moderator will have their power removed, and basically all the power is gone. Which people are learning to that Reddit could easily summon bots to make these votes happen and overrule them if they don't like personal decisions, which would be kind of scary. Not only that, but they also said that people can also be remodded so they can change the subreddit themselves if they feel like other moderators are abusing their power. So like let's say World of Warcraft has a subreddit that's really popular, but they gone dark. They do the democracy system, dethrone them, they align new people. They can completely change that subreddit to however they see fit, or however certain Reddit members or Reddit employees might see fit. Which people are like, you're kind of ruining our service. And then there is also some other stuff. I don't know how true it is, but apparently some moderators from some prominent subreddits have came out saying that they've received some personal messages from Reddit themselves, kind of threatening them. This is from Dextro. Let me see if I can pull it up quickly. Let's see, hold on. Pretty much it's saying that if we feel like if we feel like you are continuously abusing your power, we will remove you permanently from our site and not allowing any access from any other accounts, and we will they will not be able to open up any other alternative accounts because they'll be tracking your IP. And if they try to even work with any other like API that's not with Reddit, they will also get fined too.
Wow. So you may have said it at the beginning of this, but remind me, where is this coming? Just for the simplicity because they feel like people are abusing their moderation powers? That's it?
No.
There gotta be more to that.
So the original cause of this is that because of the protests that the Reddit company is removing third-party connections, which a lot of Redditors use to enhance their subreddit functionalities, like I said, importing news, doing some kind of cool features, whatever, basically like Discord. But since
Yeah.
Reddit has removed that, a lot of moderators from these subreddits talk to the people, and they completely closed out the subreddit so people can't talk and use it
Okay.
as in protest.
I remember you said all that, but let's even rewind further. What's their decision, at least what they may have conveyed to the public, if they even did, as to why they made that decision?
If you're talking about off of the company Reddit, they're saying that the
Mm-hmm.
reason why they're upset and I can't remember what they did why they removed the third party because that was just
Mm-hmm.
so long ago. But the
Mm-hmm.
reason why they're attacking the moderators now is because of all these major subreddits going dark. They have lost tons and tons of users from their sites. But I can't tell
I
you for
mean,
sure why they closed the third party connections down, the third party APIs,
okay.
because that was just so long ago and there's just been so much back and forth between the actual users and the company.
Mm-hmm.
But
Gotcha.
I think it's probably because they just want their stuff to be pushed more and not these other companies that have the APIs integrated.
Mm, interesting. Yeah, I'm not a Reddit user. I mean, I do have an account technically, but I was never really a message board guy ever, even way back in the AOL days. I just never really, dare I say, cared or just like adapted to message boards. They didn't do it for me. So yeah, I don't really know much about the Reddit. I mean, have I gone on there from time to time just to read? Yes, but the whole world of, I don't know much about it. Going back to the whole democracy approach, where they could vote out a mod, and then you had mentioned that, well, the way around that, if people don't want someone to be mod, they could do bots. I think the fix slash the way to avoid that is if you have an quote unquote an election. I mean, that could be time stamped at a particular day, and only members of that particular subreddit at that day and before could actually be voting members, versus that way the whole possibility of bots hijacking an election could happen. You could probably even stem it a bit further where, they have to have the membership and have made, hypothetically contributed to 50 posts. I don't know, something along that magnitude.
But you're saying this, but remember, this is off of the Reddit company deciding this and dictating it.
I'm
This no subreddit will be allowed to decide what their voting system is. So that basically takes that out of the user's hands. That's just overall general public access. So with Reddit being the way it is, and also I also looked this up. It seems like the reason why they cancel a lot of these third party apps. We'll go back to what we were just talking about.
sure.
But the reason why they cancel is because apparently Reddit's trying to promote more ad based stuff so they can get paid more.
Mm-hmm.
So originally it came off with like ad blocker, data analysis, or data analytic bots and all that stuff, but then they just extended it more to some other APIs like tracking, user commands on your phone, so moderators can see how much interaction they're getting. So apparently the reason why they're doing that, also Discord, apparently they blocked off their site as well. uh, because apparently I guess moderators would be like, they'd post their Discord and then they would have it connected to Reddit and people would just go there to talk extra, whatever they don't want on Reddit. So it seems like they just want, the reason why they blocked is just because they want to either push more advertisements or push more of their own personal product instead of having these other companies be a contender on the site. But going back to the mod system, the voting system, you try to make it sound like it's like a presidential thing, but a company can allow and definitely have bias towards which Reddit bases they will allow voting and if they want bots, because you've seen it on Twitter, you've seen it on Facebook. People have done voting for community stuff and then bots just overflood them with no's or yeses or whatever, and most of them are mostly related to the company itself. So seeing Reddit, sending personal threats to big moderators kind of shows that they'll be willing to abuse their power whenever they see fit.
If I might ask, what is the alternative to Reddit?
Well, it's funny. It seems like whenever people talk about like the classic web forums, it's either 4chan or Reddit, because those are where you go deep down the rabbit hole. You can talk about whatever you want for multiple different topics.
Mm-hmm.
The only other thing is honestly like Discord, Gilded, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. That's it.
So they kind of are like, I mean, Monopoly is probably not the best way to use it, but like, kind of are for an actual like purebred message board type of system. Like, yeah,
I mean, I wouldn't say they have a monopoly because they do have other places to compete with them. Like I just said, Discord, Gilded, Twitter, all that stuff. But it's the only web-based one that is more old school in their own web chatting service.
yeah,
Because like obviously they have like a like thing, but they call it like karma, up votes, down votes, and then the more you interact, the better user you are. They give you like a better karma score, whatever. So
correct.
yeah, just seeing them create these rules, I'm just like, and seeing also the public announcement saying that these moderators have too much power almost makes them feel um like they're just afraid of their own users, that their users have
Oh,
basically made the platform the way it is, and if they
yeah,
cancel their users, they're canceling themselves.
yeah. It's quite funny that it's like we made you, we could kill you, but can you really?
Like you can kill us on the site, but we'll just make another one.
Yeah, that would be an interesting revelation to keep following to see if there's a similar exodus like one of our next topics. We're not segueing immediately, but it'll be interesting to see if something comes of this. Um, I don't want to say I doubt it, but that's why I asked the question, like, what are the alternatives? Because like I honestly don't know of anything.
Well,
And
Discord is the biggest
well,
second
I know you mentioned
platform.
that, but we'll keep it explicitly web based, right? Like, you
Well,
know,
Discord is a web-based chat
well,
system.
it can be, yes. I wonder what kind of traffic their web one gets versus the app versus the phone app versus I don't know about how well the like PlayStation integration is and et cetera, et cetera. But
I would see that one. I can't say for a fact, but I would say get a good amount of traction just because of the amount of API that they get to Discord, like for stat tracking for multiple games and all that stuff, or person like for information boards or those pixel things that they have for Discord. They probably get a good amount of people to access it just so they can program. But users, I don't know.
yeah,
But I
interesting.
think the reason why I'm talking about this now is because people are also sparking debate is like, depending on how this plays out, if Reddit, actually takes away their moderators and completely changes the board in public, voting for control of whoever controls these subreddits, people are like, could it bleed over to Discord or other platforms like that? Because so far, Discord is like the old alternative. And obviously, you and I run a Discord like Pokemon, and we have APIs in there like that Taskumi whatever thing that tracks Pokemon stats for all the players. What happens if Discord decides to remove that stuff? It's like you're
Mm-hmm.
pretty much screwed, and you had to do all that stuff manually yourself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know what to say. I kind of have it in my mind a little bit like add-ons for a while, and you know my stance on add-ons. So
No one can have fun except for the original developers.
exactly, keep it in its vanilla state. Yeah, I know. I mean, I get it. There's the um, what's it called? Quality of life enhancements that are there, but like since you brought up Pokemon, I mean that was always one of my peeves with all the different add-ons with that. It's just like it just took away from the game. Like if all you're gonna do is run around and chase hundreds in your geographic location, like what's the fun in that? You're just
Well,
it's
the fun is to chase that because they pretty much achieved everything
yeah.
else. So they gave themselves a artificial way to keep playing. Because if that wasn't there, they would just stop altogether.
I don't believe that's true.
I believe they would. I mean,
I
they
don't
pretty
think
much
so.
and I could tell you this, and this is 100% facts. Once they closed down the spoofing thing for Pokemon Go, what they did was they rehacked the Pokemon API, and they made basically what people are now selling as bots because they realized that Niantic was going to go after these guys if they kept it open. So now instead of having open source for everybody, they closed sourced it. Now you have to pay for them directly in order to see them off their third sites that still connect to Pokemon. And since they closed the spoofing, their player base dropped significantly. Only the people that want to pay for it now are the only ones that are benefiting from hundreds.
I don't know. I'm just saying the success. I remember the success when it first came out, and
There was a lot of
people
spoofers. From
now when they
2016 to 2018, there was an abundant amount of spoofers. And then
oh
after
spoofers, yes. I thought you meant I thought you were talking about just like the satellites getting finding all the hundreds and all that
yeah,
shit.
that's the spoofers.
Because like,
That's what
well,
they
I
build
mean,
into their hack version of the game to get stuff. And then once
yeah,
Niantic went hardcore on that in 2019, 2020, guess what happened to the player base? Died off significantly. And I know you're gonna say COVID, but no, this was during the time of COVID and slightly after. And then as soon as Niantic went super hardcore because they want to push owner raids and cancel that other digital stuff, which it makes sense. Their player base died almost half.
yeah. I don't know. I haven't been playing it for a while anyway, so
Well, it's pretty much
and it wasn't due to that, but
it's pretty dead. I mean, there's still
well, I mean,
maybe
I think it's dead.
100,000 couple players around the world, but it's
I think
nowhere near
it's dead for
billions.
us. No, I don't think. Well, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see those numbers, but I truly think they're still making money up the anus.
Oh, they're making. I mean, it's just like Call of Duty. Their player base drops significantly, but the whales will keep spending money. Like
Yeah,
the microtransaction part, they'll always be good in, but the player base, that's died significantly. Like they're
yeah,
probably at 70% of what they were prior to the pandemic.
yeah. I'd love to see those numbers. But anyways, we're not here to talk about Pokemon. We're talking about all these little add-ons and stuff. So yeah, I don't know. It's like I said, unfortunately, that's not my world. So I'm unaffected. But if there was like, a particular subreddit that I actually, maybe did go to, which I don't, but and have it blacked out or something, or just, die. I mean, that would really, really suck because like, there's a lot of people that like it is community driven, right? Like those are in their own right miniature communities. Some of them maybe not so miniature. So to lose that is pretty flippin' shitty. But to your point, maybe they migrate, or maybe they already have the Discord, right? Maybe they had 50% of that community in Discord. Now it's going to go to 100. Who the hell knows? But
Well, that's really what's coming down to, and I think if
mhm,
Reddit was smart, they would listen to the users because the only reason why you have a company is for your users. Because like they're saying, so their main gripe is that they're saying moderators are too strong, and then it's hurting users. I'm like, the moderators aren't hurting users because if the users were really being hurt, they would just create another Reddit post or another Reddit thread and make it their own. But the fact that they're still in agreement with these moderators and they're moving to other platforms like Discord, it just shows that overall the consensus is they do not appreciate these changes you're pushing onto them, and
mhm,
that should be the wake up call they need. And the fact that they're not listening to that and not seeing new subreddits being made is honestly the red flag that I'm surprised they're not talking about. They're just saying, oh, the moderators have power. I'm like, no, your red flag that you should be looking at is why isn't people creating more subreddits because of this? It shows that they're all in agreement. And I don't know. I just feel like you know, as we'll transition later, companies they forget the main principle of how they work. You can have your employees, you can do whatever you want, but if you don't have any customers, then you'll fall as a company. And I think if Reddit keeps the way they're doing, they're gonna fall as their web-based chatting base or web service chat network. And I know you. It's AP. You're like third party. It's their site, but if it makes the thing better, why not use it?
I don't disparage people from using WoW add-ons. I may make fun of them a little bit, but but I don't, tomato, tomato. You do you.
All right. Well, it seems like we both said our piece. We don't really have anything to add because I know you're not a Reddit. I'm not really much of a Reddit guy either. I'm just
Yeah.
speaking on behalf of the people that are complaining about this.
Hmm.
So it's gonna be interesting. Hopefully, it doesn't bleed over to other platforms because if so, it looks like we have another revolution of new apps to be brought up.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's also very interesting. Um, I don't know how to really say this, but like as a I don't even want to say community, as a world, how so many people become so invested in those type of platforms, and then just have them to collapse, what that could trigger as just, you know, just as people. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, because it's huge. I mean, without other places to go to, although you did mention Discord, but like, I mean, as genuine as like old school as Reddit is, right? It kind of has a very old school feel. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how that unfolds.
Well, I think the users are going to be just fine, even if the company fails. It's just like, when you look at video games. When World of Warcraft and China had that big split, a lot of the players that spent basically since day one, they were sad that was closing. But what they did is that community that they loved and why they stayed moved over to Final Fantasy 14 and it blossomed there. That's just what's going to happen with Reddit if it implodes and, kills itself. The people that were still there and they were talking and they found that community, they're still going to find that on other platforms. They're just going to have to recreate again and just create that loyalty that they had there. Most likely, they already probably networked with those people already, and they probably already moved to Discord or another site. So I think the users will be fine.
The plants have been seeded, or just yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this has been the ongoing thing for like the last 7 years. Never put too much stock in one place. Always, same thing with streamers. If you want to stream on Twitch, that's fine. But open up a YouTube channel, post videos there, or maybe do a stream to another platform every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Because if one site goes down and you don't have any other backup plans, you're done. So that's why people are always promoting Discord and other sites, because that's how they keep it going.
What I've done.
But I guess we can move on to topic number 2. Another company refusing to listen to their employees is recently, since Twitch has changed, Kick has been listening to their customers, and they've been making some big changes, like buying some of the big streamers so they can bring people over. I think they recently gained over 1.5 or 2 million new users to their service because of Twitch decisions. And they also signed some huge contracts with some Twitch streamers. They basically just are whatchamacallit, stealing them right off the spot. They're like XQC, the Twitch's biggest streamer that they had, pulling millions of views every single day. They took him for $100 million, I think. They took him, they made him sign a 2-year contract, and so now he's streaming exclusively to Twitch. They also have, which is funny because we talked about it last week, Amaroth. She is now an exclusive streamer for Kick. I don't know what her contract is. All I know is that she is now moving over there. They also show another one. Ludwig is also going over there, another big streamer. It's funny. I watch none of these people, but I know that their numbers are huge, so good for them. I don't know. The only thing I don't know is what the other 2 contracts were. It seems like they didn't make them public like XQC's, but I'm pretty sure it's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So since them poaching all these big streamers, Twitch is now seeing this bleeding effect of people. Their directory is starting to dip down significantly, and people not chatting as much, because if you look at like the web services that have been growing, YouTube has been steadily increasing, Kick has just seen an explosion, and then you see Twitch is slowly going down. And it seems like they really have no answer to that, but
they'll wake up. They'll wake up. Maybe. This is, in all honesty, now that it's evolved to this point, this is good for everybody. The ship is not going to sink. They're going to reevaluate. This is exactly, I'm going to compare it to the WWE AEW thing. You need competition. This is a wake-up call. This is going to be a positive thing. It's not going to happen overnight, but I'm going to, just like you predict another Switch, I'm going to predict this is going to be good for everybody in due time.
Oh, it's going to be good for the streamers, but Twitch, the way they're cementing themselves right now, I mean, they've already publicly stated that they're not trying to be a main competitor in the streaming service. And that right there itself is the biggest tell sign that they are going to crash.
Wait till their bottom line starts. Wait till they start doing the quarterly figures. Like, there's a reason why Kick, they've done their math. Trust me. There's a reason why they signed these. In our eyes, they look like very, I don't want to say dumb contracts, but they're pretty eye-opening, right? But they done their math. They're like, okay, how many people are paying for subscriptions? Multiply that. What's your cut, our cut? We're not going to be as greedy right now. And I say it like that right now. They know what they're doing. And once Twitch starts feeling, they might already be seeing, but once they start feeling that bottom line, more decisions will be made. I think just give it time.
So the reason why I'm talking about Twitch right now, even though it's supposed to be about Kick,
Yes.
is
Well, they go hand in hand. So
I think the reason why Twitch is not doing this is because they are taking the AT&T approach. They're going to be around because of Amazon, and they already have their web-based service, Amazon web-based service, that other people are using because it's like a competition for Cloudflare. I think that's what they're focusing now. They're focusing on insourcing their stuff, so other platforms can actually spend for them instead of having Twitch to focus on their actual streaming platform. They just, all right, we'll shut this down. Twitch is no more. We'll still make money by making our service available for other companies that want to make a streaming service like Kick. Because the reason why the title for Kick is the unstable solution is because for people that don't know, because it seems like a lot of people are not filling themselves in on how Kick is working. Kick is actually still running off of Amazon's web service. So they're in order to stream, Kick is actually paying Amazon. I don't know what the contract is. All I know is that there was a bid between Amazon's web service, Cloudflare, and another one to host Kick's site. And Amazon won the bid, so now Kick and Amazon are paying. Kick is now paying Amazon for their service, so they can have people stream to their site. I'm pretty sure that's funding them for a while. That any new person that goes to Kick, that money is still gonna trickle back into Twitch. But not only that, the way Kick is making their money is that their co-founders are from they're from the founders of Stake, which is a crypto gambling casino, and also crypto gambling site. So their main source of money, is coming from cryptocurrency. And right now it's a little stable, and that's why they're making so much money. That's why they can buy out these huge contracts. But if cryptocurrency ever implodes on itself, which it's done twice already, that service with those $100 million contracts that they're signing can easily go away, and the site can go away as well, because crypto is not sound right now. And depending on how things go, that money that they're spending like this, the 99, 95, 5 split, whatever, can immediately go down to 50-50 or even 30-60 in the other person's favor.
Yeah.
So it's funny seeing that people going to Kick, not realizing that who they're paying, where the money is coming from, and also because Kick is having this we're better than Twitch thing, people don't realize that's still a business. So DMCA and all that stuff is also still going to play a factor. So when XQC first did his stream on Kick, apparently he was streaming the movie The Dark Knight Rises. And so the Kick staff had to intervene themselves, because if not, they're probably going to be the whole service probably going to be shut down by the DMCA for him streaming that movie. And people were like, oh, I thought you're better than Twitch. We shouldn't be censored like this. I'm like, DMCA, no matter what, plays a factor in any service you go into. And it's all these new members that are coming to Kick are just breaking rules nonstop, left and right. And I'm like, Kick is probably going to have to pay a lot of money to a lot of these, copyright issues and all that stuff. And then probably going to change their service and then go back to, either the streamer's going to be held liable, or we're going to change that revenue split. But it's just funny seeing all these new members thinking that just because it's a new site, that rules don't apply.
Yeah, that's pretty funny and messed up at the same time. But yeah, I mean, that's what I said. Like, the grass isn't always greener on the other side. I mean, I don't know if it's public information, but based on those, big wigs that have moved over and what their contracts actually state, the ones that are jumping over now are probably only ones that are going to get those big gains, versus everyone that follows suit. It's going to diminish more and more and more and more. It's going to get convoluted. But yeah, like I said, kudos to them. They're already going to get their payments, and then big installments. But yeah, the grass isn't always greener on the other side. But like I still feel like overall, like, I know you have your theories on the Twitch, and I'm not poo-pooing on them. Like, you did your homework and it makes sense, right? When you explain it, makes sense. But I still feel like that there's gonna be a balance, and I think it's gonna be beneficial to everybody. It's not gonna be like so in our favor, but I think there something good will come out of it. I wouldn't say super long run, but
Well,
near
the,
future ish.
the good that's come out of this is even though people are looking at Twitch, it was YouTube that needed the wake up call. And
Yeah.
because of Twitch blowing up in popularity and all these other sites like Mixer, well now dead, and now
Hmm.
Kick, the
Hmm.
YouTube streaming service has improved drastically over the last 4 or 5 years, and now it's become an extremely almost prominent first party streaming network to go to. That's why a lot of the big streamers that aren't getting contracts are mostly going to YouTube instead of these other platforms, just because of how consistent it is, how stable it is, the income, the ad revenue, everything is just all just sound across the board.
Hmm.
So if we're gonna, let's say if Kick stays, if it doesn't, that's up to them how they run their business.
Hmm.
But all in all, I think the two main competitors here are still gonna be Twitch and YouTube. And if Twitch decides to either keep a service or not, or just go into a rental service for their their web streaming, um, YouTube pretty much has everybody else secured.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been a fan. I'm a fan of YouTube. It's funny. I was actually doing a little homework recently about the AdSense stuff because I guess I lost my. I don't know if it's considered a membership, but they changed the parameters. I don't know how long ago,
Oh,
probably a year or
yeah, it was
years.
years ago.
Yeah, and I guess I wasn't adequate enough to be grandfathered in. Maybe I don't know how it really worked because I kind of fell off that point.
No one was
And
grandfathered in. They just kind of based on
nobody.
those numbers.
Okay, well, with that said, yeah, I no longer can, but unless I rebuild myself back up, but I don't see that happening in the near future either. But
Well, it's funny that you said it because they just recently changed that. Because now they lowered the guidelines to get to that partner program so you can actually get AdSense again. Now it's you only need 500 subscribers instead of 1,000 subscribers.
I think mine still shows 1,000.
That should have changed because they just changed that
Okay.
like legit like a week or two ago.
Okay.
Um,
And then it's like I think it's like 1,000 subscribers that does non-paid, right, or followers, and I want to say it's 4,000 viewing hours total, something like that.
so it's changed now. So it's 3,000 viewing hours. Before it used to be only counted for videos, but now it's videos and streams. So you just had to reach that across the board. So people that are doing streaming are hitting it much harder just because of consistency with watching. Or there's the alternative, which is still blooming, even though things like Instagram kind of died out a little bit. Is if you upload shorts. If you get 3.2 million views on shorts, you're also eligible as well. And getting
Yeah,
views on shorts is really easy.
yeah, and it's either or as well. It can't be a combo.
Yeah, it's either or. It's
Yeah,
either
yeah,
3,000 hours for videos and streaming, or 3.2 million views on shorts.
yeah. Now, riddle me this because it obviously sounds like you know more than I do, and I don't really mean to stray off the topic, but it's still within the topic, right? Um, so like I have, I guess what you would consider as multiple accounts within my master account. So does each one have to reach those parameters for AdSense? Yeah, that.
I mean, it makes sense.
It does to a degree. It does to a degree.
Because even though it's all linked under one thing, they're still considered separate channels.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
if
like
it
that, it
makes
makes sense.
sense, it also holds people responsible. So like they might do something really good for one channel, either follow a trendy or whatever stuff, and they get a lot of stuff, and then next thing you know, they make a second account that's still, if they have the same rule, partnered, they could put a whole bunch of crap or copy or stolen videos up there and still make money. And that's one of the reasons why they don't let it carry over.
Or make them earn it again, type thing. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
makes sense. It makes sense. But I was just you basically answered for me. But I mean, I kind of saw that pattern, so it's like I kind of knew the answer myself, but I just wanted to kind of clarify. But well, if they're actually making it a little bit easier, that's cool. Maybe I mean, I still do a little bit of content on because I have one strictly for my Twitch clips or highlights that I kind of just migrate over. Um, yeah, who knows? Maybe I'll start coming up with other ideas and utilizing that as my platform for stuff like that, like I did with my rip. Maybe I'll do more rips now that I use my phone. Which, if I may ask, I don't mean to really change the subject, but how do you think that came out?
Wait, what?
You said you watched it, the box that I ripped. I said, how do you think that video came out?
I know you tried your
you, you,
best.
you could chop and screw it.
Well, it's because we don't have the equipment. You did the best with what we had available.
Yeah.
Most people, I don't know how Magic the Gathering cards are, but usually they always hold like the last card at the end. That's why they usually swap the cards at the
Yeah,
end.
yeah. Well, yeah.
You just kept it straight, so any build up obviously is good for viewers. They get to see it right away, but it doesn't hold that retention rate, and also the lighting kind of washes everything out, so you don't see the cards as well.
Yeah, I didn't also like those kind of shit,
So I
but
was watching it to support you, but overall video quality, it could have been better. But it's just like any other
110%.
new person that does it. So if I was to rate you on the common standards that everybody else does, you did the same.
Yeah. Fair enough. Fair assessment. But back to the unstable solution. Um, yeah, I concur. It totally is unstable. I mean, dare I say, all of it is unstable to a certain degree.
Well, I would say
I mean,
Amazon and Google are pretty sound at this point, which is how
well,
they have multiple avenues, either through
the,
renting
the,
their service or.
yes, the big mothership behind the actual service. Yes, you're 500% correct.
Or
But,
Kick.
but, um, yeah, I think it's interesting that we talked just like as I recently talked about exclusive contracts and we're seeing that happen. And although you still predicted that will not happen on Twitch's end, um, and you very well might be right, but it'll be interesting to see if maybe something. I mean, we know the big conglomerates in the world. That's happening, and they're not even exclusive, right? Like we mentioned the WWE partnership they have, all the sporting partnerships that they're having, which some may be dropped due to the revenue it's not pulling in. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that evolves.
Yeah, if Twitch, like I said before, I think individual streamer wise, I think they're done with that because they did it before, it didn't work out, and they're not going to repeat that mistake again. If they're going to do
Mm-hmm.
contracts, it has to be with a major media corporation. That's about it. Um, but going back to Kick, because I'm just gonna go off of Mixer's mistakes.
Sure.
I'm making the prediction that Kick becomes the next Mixer, where it gains a lot of people. It's doing these contracts. It's gonna run out of money. It's gonna implode, and everybody's gonna go back to Twitch. Even though I don't see Kick being a long-lasting service, I want to say that even if you're not making $1 million contract, people should still go over there now while people are still transitioning. Get whatever viewers you can, and have those viewers come back with you to other platform. Like I would say, make a YouTube account. That seems like the stable medium. Stream on Kick or Twitch, whatever one you want, because right now people are moving back and forth. People are bound to discover more streamers, and have them all trickle back to one site, and that'll either be YouTube or whatever the platform of your choice is. So no matter if Kick goes down or Twitch goes down, you will still have people watching you on a platform that's still around.
Mm-hmm.
Don't put all your
Sure.
eggs in one basket. That's the
Right.
thing here.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And I believe they're pretty smart and know what they're doing. And even though they have,
No, I'm
even though
talking
they
about new
haven't,
streamers
oh
or
well,
smaller streamers.
gotcha.
Because
I
the
mean,
people that are
the
making
big
their
ones aren't going to have that problem anyways.
yeah, like Ninja for example, he signed a multi-million-dollar contract with Mixer. Mixer went down. He went back to Twitch, and he still retains that Mixer money, but he's back on the old platform. Well, was until he now is on Kick and YouTube. That's besides the point. So
Mm-hmm.
like, if Kick goes down, XQC is still gonna have the $100 million. He'll just either go back to Kick or sorry, Twitch or YouTube. But for
Mm-hmm.
new streamers, I would capitalize on the movement and see if you can get more discoverability with this movement currently. And then after that, go back to a more concrete place like YouTube, just so you can retain that viewership no matter what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like a lot of new streamers, they just hear about these big streamers going to these platforms, and then they're like, "Oh, I should do that too." And they go there, they see the same amount of growth, which is nothing, and then
Mm-hmm.
they just hurt themselves.
Yep, monkey see, monkey do. I mean, for that reason, I think that's exactly why I'm not going to. But YouTube's always been, dare I say, my first love. So like I always, I've had a YouTube account for years, right? I guess YouTube would be my Reddit, although it has nothing to do with being a message board. But
Oh,
that's
if you
kind
see
of
some of the comment sections, it turns into a message board.
you're not wrong. You are not wrong. But yeah, so like I think getting back on board with YouTube would be my way to go, if anything, and where I would run away to if there was a somehow complete obliteration of Twitch. YouTube would definitely be my home.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I've actually just recently restructured myself because before I used to be heavy with streams. I stream a lot on Twitch, whatever. And I don't want to say this because I don't want it to make me sound unappreciative of the people that have joined. Because I have some. I call, even though they're technically viewers, I call them friends at this point that watch and support. And then I have 994 followers on Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
As much as I love that live interaction, I just gained so much more discoverability on YouTube. And because of that, and I really should think about it as like a business plan. Recently, since I've been uploading mostly to YouTube as like my Let's Plays and all that stuff, I see more views there, and I've been streaming less. And I'm like, maybe that should be my way forward: is focus more on YouTube, making videos, and then whatever viewer is there,
Like
I'll do
actually
that.
be a content creator.
Yeah, and then come back to maybe like Twitch for like maybe a couple streams a week or whatever, and then just have like a few good streams, and then go back to creating for YouTube, and then have them kind of funnel back into Twitch or whatever, and even themselves out.
I think keyword discoverability, like the one thing I do enjoy with when I post or upload my stuff on YouTube is like unless I'm missing something on Twitch and this is my own damn fault, but the ability to basically tag almost damn near endlessly for your videos to make them searchable is so huge.
Well, not only that, their search engine is just so much more advanced. Like YouTube doesn't just look for view count, really. I mean, yeah, view count kind of matters, but it's more of the relevancy towards what you're looking for.
Exactly.
And
And I think
go ahead.
oh, I'm sorry. No, no, go. No, you finish. You finish.
And I was gonna say that's what Twitch suffers with is all it has is just a type word, but it goes to whoever the top guy is already. You will not go to the bottom guy unless if you purposely switch in your settings, lowest to highest, whatever, random.
So remember, we just talked on the previous podcast on how Twitch should do a better job with like randomizing the end of a stream to put you
In
in
the same directory,
content.
but with another streamer.
Exactly. That's kind of what YouTube does. Like you may not like what is it? You get maybe what is it nowadays? 2, 3, 4 videos at the end where it's like maybe you'll like this or you should check this out. To your point with the tagging and whatnot, the relevancy keyword, that's what it does, right? And sometimes that popular video might be paired with someone not as popular. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And just because it's the same content, you have that catch bait title. They're like, oh shit, well let me check this one out too. I'm already watching this stuff. So 100%.
Honestly, that's how all my Borderlands videos have 100,000 views on it because I knew it was hot during that time. I had a good thumbnail, good title, and I know people were searching for weapons. And luckily, because people were going from this, like, Rad Brad or whatever, my video, because the actual recommendation thing is 12 videos. It'll be on the side of your search thing. So because of that, and how good I was doing my SEO tags, which is search engine optimization tags, I was constantly getting put to first, even though I was lesser known.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like the reason why my Borderlands thing blew up, which I am ashamed that I didn't capitalize off of.
I mean,
but that's on me.
Shit happens.
Which is cool that you have that option that just randomly out of nowhere, as long as you're still thinking about it, you could still piggyback off somebody else.
Yeah, exactly. So like much like Twitch, and you could highlight a previous uh, stream with the shorts on YouTube. Is that functionality work the same way where like you have your full video uploaded and you could just like snippet it a part of that same video to a short, or is that not how it works?
So they just changed it within the year. So they actually separated videos, shorts, and streams. Because before videos and streams used to be all together. Now they have 3 separate categories. So if you stream, they actually do have something called a remix button, I think it's called. And that remix turns into a short that you can upload separately.
Gotcha. But not a standalone video that was uploaded.
No, you could do that too. It's just most people don't do it that way because it shorts are just much better. When I say shorts are better, I'm talking about they just get more views. But you can make the video if you so choose to.
Gotcha. I'll have to take a look at that. Because at this rate, I have 0 shorts.
Yeah, YouTube has, I'm telling you, man, because it, like I said, if there was any company that needed the wake up call first, it was YouTube. And they definitely answered that call because they've drastically improved to the point where they're almost like the staple streaming service now. it was a well-deserved change or well-needed change that they needed, and it just generated so much more money for them.
Does Twitch offer like those milestone plaques like YouTube does?
No.
No, that's what I thought.
The only plaque they give you is a check.
Still a good plaque if you get one.
Yeah.
But no, I like no lie. I always thought that was like that would be a really cool thing to get in the mail as a fucking plaque, like your very first YouTube plaque of something.
Yeah.
Like that'd be pretty dope. I don't care if I have to pay for it. like hey, you want this plaque? You reach this milestone, but it'll still cost you $250. Here's $250. Give me my plaque. Like
it is cool. It's just like a how do you say it? Like a diploma
like being
from a cool like
or
school.
That, or I was gonna compare it to being like a fucking musician and getting your gold fucking record or something. Like it's kind of what it is. Yeah.
And the cool thing is that they have different tiers too. Like if you get like 100,000 subscribers, you get like a silver, a million, the gold play button, 10 million, it's the diamond or ruby, whatever. And then after that, 100 million, which only a very few people have hit, they get like the ultimate gold plaque or ruby or diamond plaque.
Do you know? Do they? I mean, I'm certain at that rate they probably have, or you would think they would be partners, but you would have to be in the partner like registry to get those type of things, right? Probably.
I would assume so, but I don't know.
Yeah.
I've never reached that number, but I would just assume.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to get off. I mean, doing this podcast is awesome, and hopefully we get to do it forever. But back to solo content, man. I gotta think of something. I gotta come up with something witty and not really a rebrand myself, but kind of. So.
Honestly, I always thought the name Shiesty was better than the real Shiesty.
Well, it's always taken pretty quickly, so.
Yeah.
Even on the Discord, you got to. Did you get your email yet to do your?
I got that a long time ago. I never did it.
You never did it. Why?
I don't know. I'm just too lazy. Like honestly, I should do it, but I'm like, do I really want to lock it down just yet?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Because I don't know what the change policy is. Like, if you lock it down now, can you change that later, or?
Yeah, to a very good point. I don't know. All I know is I've been running with this moniker for quite some time, so it was kind of a no-brainer for me. So.
Yeah, I should probably do that tonight.
But my apologies if you kind of answered this already, but I don't think I heard the clear-cut answer. But you are not going to take a foray at Kick, or are you still thinking about it?
So would Kick? If I want to answer this in two parts. Kick will not be my main platform of choice, but will I make a stream there too to see if I gain more discoverability? Yes. I actually already cemented my username in there already.
Okay, cool.
Because before the massive transition happened, I'm one of those people that like to look on the App Store and see upcoming apps just to see how they work. And I seen that Kick was slightly rising, and luckily before this mass migration, I was locked down beforehand. I probably should have streamed more there before, but now I might do maybe like a stream or two here and there just to see how it works. And if I get more people, I might stay there for a little bit and come back. But it really just depends on if it's beneficial or not.
And dumb question, because I'm full of them. Can you use Streamlabs to still do that with Kick, or?
So one of the things I was thinking about, because Twitch currently does, or sorry, not Twitch, Kick currently doesn't have a rule about multi-streaming. I was thinking that maybe I do like 2 or 3 streams, and like I know this is gonna be the greedy side, but maybe like 2 or 3 streams on like Twitch. Maybe once a week I do a multi-stream to both Kick and YouTube. So you could do that.
Cheat on Twitch with the other 2, but not
yeah. It's like you're the main squeeze for now.
Tonight I'm having the menage a trois.
Yeah, but on Sunday I'm having the good stuff. Daddy's picking the sides.
Daddy's living the double life right now.
Wants a little bit more exotic.
I'm wearing my watermelon shirt today.
Oh, dude. I have a whole bunch of shirts I try not to wear because I try to keep the nerdy shirts on for the stream, which I don't have many, unfortunately. But if you see the actual shirts I really have, you'd be like, what the heck are you? Like a dad in summertime?
I'm pretty sure that's a moo-moo, but...
I got a flamingo shirt. I got a rhino shirt. Well, you're seeing the watermelon one because the other ones are clean right now. I have a Ted Lasso shirt, and I just have stupid shirts.
It almost looks like nurse scrubs too.
Does it?
It does a
One of the
little
things
bit,
is I don't like pockets.
especially with that pocket. They probably are nurse scrubs.
They are nice from Harbor Bay, all right. But I don't know. I like stupid shirts like this. Like I have it's somewhere over there, but it's like a flamingo one, and it's just simple like this. It's just like this, but it's gray, and it's got pink flamingos on it.
Oh, that's so funny.
But yes, this is not a nurse scrub, as much as it may look like one. But I will say I am pretty sweet in this shirt.
That's great. All right. So you're gonna tiptoe in the kick realm, and I'm not. So.
Who knows?
Cool.
Maybe you should dabble in it too, just to see if anything happens. Obviously, it's not gonna be your main choice of platform, but maybe just see how it goes.
I think the fact that I don't.
Enough.
No, I feel like I probably stream more than you say at times. If it wasn't for
16-hour stream every month, okay.
Oh no. If it wasn't for the more recent console gaming, I'm pretty confident I stream more than you. Now you probably garnish a lot more viewers than I do, but I think just on the straight time standpoint, I think I got you beat. But anyhow, no, the fact that I don't do it, I have live streamed through YouTube only a few times, and oddly enough, I don't know if Chris is actually watching this right now, but oddly enough, I did stream Lost Ark on YouTube, just for shits and giggles, and that was it. Those probably videos are long gone anyway, but that's it. And yeah, I think I'm just so invested somewhat with just the Twitch aspect, but as I did say, YouTube would probably be the one I would run away with.
Yeah, that's the problem too. Is like people gain loyalty toward the platform, and I think that's what I have. Unfortunately, is even though I see Twitch's horrible side, I've been with them since 2012. That's hard to break away from.
Yeah.
But maybe I should look out for number one and just dabble. Like, obviously, don't move permanently, but just dabble and see if anything happens.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I think for me that dabble will definitely be with YouTube, since talk about loyalty still. My main accounts have been there for. I wonder what the birthday date would actually be, but it's been for a very long time. I mean,
I've had my YouTube account since 2004.
It makes me wonder. I'm sure I could dig it up, but I still have my sketches on there from when I was doing that type of stuff, which I wish I would go back and do more of that stuff. But who knows? Maybe I will. But yeah, I just the streaming aspect, I just more or less reserve that for Twitch. But like I said, the sketches I have on there, my highlights from Twitch I have on there, and then I have like my personal one, which is kind of like the me being actually me per se, versus the character of me.
So here, I gotta ask this question, since you also have multiple accounts too.
Yes.
I have 3 accounts.
I have 3 accounts.
My oldest one is the one I only watch videos on. I don't post anything. I just only watch videos on it. Then I have my Joshua Cast one, which I post my Let's Plays or like the bigger videos I want to do. And then I have the Automata podcast. Those are the only 3 ones I have. Do you have one primarily for watching and keeping anonymous so no one else knows who you are, just so you can watch videos?
No, I don't have the what's that called, burner account, so to speak. No, I'm not hiding like that. My personable one, I guess you would say, would be the one that I would use for comments and stuff, although I don't normally do it. So it's not like I'm hiding.
So here, this is the thing, is that I'm not trying to hide from anyone. I just don't want my watch views to pop up into my main channel. Because if you actually look at your main channel, you don't hide this. Anything you like or watch, people can actually see that as long as your settings are open.
I'm following you. Yeah. Well, I don't do a lot of that, to be honest. I don't like videos. I watch a lot of videos. I don't necessarily like them.
I do it just
So
because I know the struggle and I try to support. Like, if I show you my actual watching account, you'd be like, "What are you?" You'd be like, "Are you a grandma? You're watching nature videos. You're watching how it's made." Like I'm not into most. Well, I shouldn't say like I'm not into riding them, but I like seeing how cars are built, motorcycles are built. I like seeing cooking videos of like outdoor nature, inside kitchen cooking.
mhm.
I just have a super weird watch list on YouTube.
I think most of my watch, my most of watching is, well, not really watching, but mostly music. Um, and and I guess if I'm like watching theory crafting videos, like the Zeldas of the world, the Final Fantasies, and Warcrafts, and all that shit, all the nerdy stuff, right? Like I just like watching stuff of that, but not as indulging as you are when it comes to being curious. Like, yeah, I'm not on it like that.
It's funny, even though I'm a gamer and all that stuff, I rarely watch gaming YouTube videos unless if it's like either a update built on how to do things, efficiently, or like a lore video, like explain more of the lore. Other than that, I will not watch a single video. Like,
Hmm.
obviously you hear the name PewDiePie and Markiplier and all that stuff. Except for maybe hearing my brother watch some of their videos, I've
Hmm.
never watched one of their videos myself. Just because for some reason all those contents, like same thing with like X2C and all them stuff, it's just not for me. I feel like it's just made for a younger audience that I'm just not a part of.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, we all have our likes and dislikes, so and what you gravitate towards. So
Yeah, give me a video on how to build an axe and sharpen it and make it look like a cool
I mean,
weapon. I'm cool.
I mean, I don't sit there and just watch DIY videos for the sake of watching DIY videos, but if I do need to do something, then yes, I am looking for DIY videos.
Well, I wouldn't say they're DIY because I don't think any of us have industrial crafting machines to do this stuff. Like these
Yeah, you're
guys are like
watching.
professionals.
You're watching some, yeah, some crazy
Like
shit.
I
I mean,
I, I think the name is Iron Forge.
like I said, I've watched different things like blacksmithing videos or digging and making I guess you could say bomb shelters or something. Like, yes, I've watched an array of things, but
Dude, I follow these two. I'm gonna call them Filipino people because I think that's what they are. The two Filipino dudes. They're out in like the jungle. They're just in the jungle. They
mhm.
basically clear land, dig into the ground out of the clay, and then form a little house and like a little pool and all that
Oh
stuff, and
yeah,
then
I
they just
think
move
I've
on.
seen some of those videos. And did you ever see the post dramatic videos or traumatic videos of how shitty they look afterwards?
No.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's made out of clay. There's no actual real foundation except for hardening clay. Of course, it's gonna crumble and fall apart.
Yeah, I know, but I like to your point. Like, I'm pretty sure we're talking about the same people, and I've seen them, and yeah, they look fucking glorious, and the amount of work they put into and effort is just amazing. But yeah,
I just want to know where they get the cameras.
right,
Like these
that's
guys are
true.
doing it like primitive style, and yet they somehow have best quality ASMR videos. I'm like, yo, I swear to God, you guys are like in the U.S. somewhere just pretending.
And then at the very end, they cook themselves a nice meal,
Yeah, and then they drink out of like a leaf cup and all that
like a
stuff, a tea.
coconut. Yeah, 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 yeah. No, I've seen a couple of those myself too. They are really cool.
They're just weirdly fascinating that you don't really see. There's a couple other people starting
Well,
to do it
well,
now.
I think it's well. I'm gonna answer for me. I think it's fascinating because don't they kind of bring you back to a state of being a little kid where like you're like a blanket fort, right? Like I don't know, that's just me. Like I feel like it gives you that state of mind,
Mm.
that kind of like that purityness to it.
Sure, to a certain extent, yeah.
I mean, that's just me. That's for me my answer.
No,
Like no one else
I can
has
see
to
it.
feel that way.
I just
But
like the
yeah.
creativity side. That's it.
No, it's extremely creative,
There,
fantastic.
there is one with a girl though, but then they accidentally misedited a video because at first they make it look like she's doing it herself, but really she's just doing the smoothing structure part of it. But then they accidentally left a little tiny 10-second segment of an actual building crew coming in to do the job, and I'm like, oh, you just ruined it for me.
uh,
Yeah, because she was like in the dirt with a little like wooden bark shovel, digging trench. I'm like, obviously, I know you can't do that with that. She probably has like some actual tools. But then saying like seven guys come around with like a like one of those lifting tractors or whatever. I'm like, oh, you
the
destroyed it for me.
cats.
Yeah.
Yeah. You fucking cheaters! Fucking posers!
Because they make it look so authentic, and I mean, obviously, your brain knows that it's not 100% authentic,
Oh, of course,
but
of
you
course.
think that they're at least trying as hard as they can to make it authentic. Because I was like, oh, she's tightening the things, she's making like a makeshift hammock.
It's just like well, now we're really going off off the rails here, but that's fine. It kind of reminds me of a TV show. It was supposed to be a reality show called Colony. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
I probably have.
Really, really cool. They have I think they only had a couple seasons of them, but one of them they dropped down like 8 to 10 people in the Gulf area after the hurricane.
Mm.
So it's really like it should have been like inhabitable, but they dropped them there, and they kind of like simulated like people coming in and like attacking them and stealing their fucking limited resources and shit like that. But every person that they dropped there had like some sort of a really good background. Like one was an engineer, one was a car mechanic, one was this, that. So they all had a skill set to attribute to the colony. Um, and I thought it was a really fascinating show. But to your point, like it's not all 100% like yeah, we really dropped them there and they're defending for themselves, right? Because there's obviously some simulation involved. But it was still a really fascinating show just to see them come up with pretty much you could say inventions to survive, so to speak. But to your point, like oh, they had extra tools and stuff to use. Like I'm pretty sure when the cameras were this way, they're like, here's a screwdriver, something simple like that. Like here's something to use, to get the job done. So.
Oh well, like no, well, I'm fine with like if they use a screwdriver or whatever. But I'm talking about
Well,
like industrial lifting objects. That's a different story.
to that point, I mean, I have no proof of it, but I guess to compare that, it's like, oh, here's a power generator to get it started, and then you can unplug it once it's started. Something like
Here's
that.
copper coils so you can make electricity.
Right, right. So yeah, I thought that was kind of my comparison to what you're talking about. But yeah, that show was really cool. I hardly watch any reality TV, but that one was something that I enjoyed watching.
Yeah, dude.
I probably would get into like something like Naked and Afraid. I just never did.
I get into a few of them. I don't like Naked and Afraid or like those other stuff like Survivor and all that stuff because it's too drama based.
Gotcha.
I don't like drama. I like real survival. Like there's
Yeah.
these two people I used to watch. They had a TV show called Dual Survival. They both were survival. Well, they both had survival training and all that stuff, but their approach to surviving the environments were totally different. So what they would do is these two guys would go in separate directions, but still make it to the same point, and they would see how they survive based off of their own methods of survival. And it's cool to see one guy try to do more off the land stuff, the other guy was trying to build contraptions to make things easier, and then seeing just like two different point of views come together, or compete against each other, I should say.
Interesting. Yeah. The drama stuff could obviously go away. The show I just talked about, they had some drama components, but yeah, I was still able to get around that.
I think it depends on the drama because if it's like too reality TV based, like like a Jersey Shore, Kim Kardashian stuff, I just can't
I'm
watch
not
it.
like that. Oh yeah, no, I can't stomach any of that stuff.
Well, like if it's like, have you ever seen like The Amazing Race?
I have not, but that's something else that maybe I'd probably enjoy.
Yeah, because I like watching The Amazing Race, and it's like hope like either it's a team of two against a bunch of other teams of two. It's either couples, friends, or whatever. They just compete with each other, solving clues and going around the world trying to get there first. Obviously, there's bickering and there's some dramatic moments of like them backstabbing each other, but like it's pretty mild and they kind of get over it quickly. It's more about the race itself than the actual jump part. That I'll tolerate.
This conversation reminds me of a meme I saw on Twitter, and I believe I liked it. I don't think I tagged you on it, but something along the lines like, fuck the Bachelorette or the Bachelor shows. Like, give me a show about like best bros and let me find my next best friend. Now that's a show I'd watch. I was like, ain't wrong.
I would love to see. I know this probably wouldn't go around well because there's not a lot of, gamers that want to go on the open. But I would love to see like a Survivor gamer show where gamers are put into the wilderness and see how well they survive. Probably most of them would die day one, but it'd be funny to
Yeah.
see that.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Total fair. I mean, you might get lucky where someone actually has an idea, but overall, yeah,
They're like, I can't
that's
see my
bad
HP
news.
gauge. Why am I slowly fainting?
That's just bad news.
Yeah, but it would just be cool to like, I don't know, maybe the way I'm picturing it, because it'd be cool to see like the survival. Obviously, not 100% survival, but like them taking some like game mechanics or whatever and trying to make it into real life and trying to make it like a video game like survival thing where it's like, I don't know how to explain it properly, but basically make it look like they're actually in a game, but they're still doing real survival ish scenarios. You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean, and I feel like there are shows out there already that kind of do that. I'm just like, I just can't really think of anything off the top of my head.
Because like let's picture like them putting a whole bunch of players or people in the starting zone, and they start off at level one, and then they have to cook, camp, and all that stuff, and eventually, as they progress, they start doing into trading to make money, and they keep
I'm like, yeah,
progressing.
we call that LARPing.
Yeah, and or they create like like let's say they get paid extras and they come in like as like
Mm-hmm.
costume villains or whatever and attack
Mm-hmm.
them and they have to fight them
Mm-hmm.
off, and if they don't win, they
Mm-hmm.
die.
Well, surprised we never talked about this, and I'm pretty sure you've heard of it, but I don't remember what it's called. I don't know if it was called like the Zombie Dash or something. But there's I don't know if they still do it. I know it was gaining popularity before COVID and obviously with The Walking Dead, but it was pretty much like a 5K and but you had zombies chasing you. And if you got caught by a zombie, you lose. So you don't even get to finish the 5K, and then you become a zombie and you have to go after the other 5Kers. It was pretty much like either you finish or you don't. Um, and you when you sign up, you get to do both. You get to first or second you partake in the actual race, or you play the zombie role. Um, might want to look that up because it's not exactly what we're talking about, but
If you can tell me the actual name, I'll watch it.
well, I don't think it's something you could watch. I think it's kind of like one of those things you go and do. I'm sure there probably is videos out there of it, but
Oh,
but it's not like it's a TV show. This is like an actual like 5K thing. I want
yeah.
to say it's called like
I
Zombie
don't feel like
Day.
being a zombie.
Me either, to be honest. Or you don't have to, but they said if you volunteer, or how did it go? It was something along the lines, if you volunteered to play the zombie role, you get like either 50% off the race, or maybe it was something like that.
Nothing would suck more as if you got nothing but slow zombies and they can't chase the real ones.
No, it
Hopefully they
wasn't.
come in like different sections of the race, and not the zombies are not just behind them. Because imagine
Oh
there's
no,
only
no,
like
no, it's
one fast
different.
zombie who's like, I got tagged them, but because I
No,
tagged them, they're gonna be back
no,
in the pack.
no, they're staged because it's one of those like I'm sure you heard of so what is it called? Warrior Dash. That was like the most popular one back in the day. You ever hear that one? Warrior Dash.
I've seen a lot of things. I don't know.
I've seen a lot of things in my
I've seen
day.
American Ninja Warriors. I've seen that old
Okay.
one where it's like
Well,
Chinese people.
well, Warrior Dash is basically another 5K, but it also has obstacle courses thrown into it. So that's kind of similar how the zombie one is. They have obstacle courses, like you have to climb over um like the junkyard of cars and shit like that. I don't know if you could probably cut yourself too, but so stuff like that is where like they also stage zombies and stuff.
That'd be pretty cool.
And I think they all wear like 2 or 3 flags. So it's like each flag is kind of like a heart container, so to speak. So once you lose them, you lose.
In my head, when you're explaining this, I was just thinking about like one guy in the back. He's like fast, and every time he's tagging like a slow runner, he's like, "Crap, I still gotta do more work." Because if I caught them, they're not gonna catch the other guys.
Yeah.
It'd just be like a very sad zombie run.
Yeah, I'll see if I could dig that out, but if I do, I'll share it with you. But at the height of its, well, like I said, when I was really into Walking Dead, I was very close of doing it just for shits and giggles because I'm not a big runner, and all the other ones never really appealed to me. So that one was like, oh, okay, this sounds actually kind of cool because there's a survivability aspect to it, kind of like role playing ish. So
I wonder if anybody's ever gone overboard. Like, you're supposed to just tag them. You're not supposed to really bite them.
right, right, yeah.
Oh,
They're weighing through this role.
How do I say this? There was something I seen recently. It was about it's in, I think, Peru. There's this death match that, well, not death match, but they call it like a death match, where there's
Mm-hmm.
like teams of 20 versus another teams of 20, and they got to fight each other, and whoever wins, they move on to the next round. Apparently, somebody in that competition got bit, and when they got bit, apparently the person that bit them has like a flesh-eating bacteria in their mouth, and when the person that got bit actually had to get treated by the Center for Disease Control because their arm was slowly deteriorating, and they had to get like
Whoa.
covered and sanctioned. But I was just like picturing that, like if a zombie did that in the running show. I'm like, ooh, get that looked out. You don't know if they have a disease flesh thing.
Yeah. Wow. That's jacked up.
Yeah, you
Like
could. Go ahead.
I know there's that algae that's like flesh eating algae, but that has nothing to do with bites. But
Yeah, there's like a
yeah, I
certain
don't.
bacteria apparently somebody can hold in their mouth just because of like dirt and stuff like that in their teeth. And he bit
Yeah.
him, and they had the whole thing taped off on his arm and all that stuff, and they're treating it. But you could see like just the flesh bubbling and turning purple and decaying. I was like, oh, that's hurt. That's awful.
That's scary.
Yeah,
That's creepy as fuck.
but they say our mouths are dirtier than a dog, so I believe it now.
Yeah, I mean, and they look assholes. So what does that tell you humans need to do?
Yeah,
No.
it's one way to keep it clean, right?
Or drink toilet water.
If it doesn't kill the dog, it won't kill you.
Nope, it's clean.
But going
That's
back to
disgusting.
the kick thing,
Sure.
um, if anybody is looking at this as like a permanent solution, don't, because just seeing that they're from a crypto gambling site, that money, it's only going to affect the big people that are signing contracts. Just do it to see if you gain anybody. If not, probably go to a more stable site. Don't
Now
put all your stock in
that
it.
that company, how long have they owned it? Because are they the original?
They just founded it in 2022, like literally last
Oh,
year.
Jesus Christ.
Well, if you're
So
talking about stakes, the stakes company, the gambling
yes,
currency site, that's
yes.
been around since crypto thing has been happening, like maybe 2014, 13, whatever.
Uh-huh.
But Kick was only founded last year.
Okay. Because another thought I had, what what if due to the popular gaining, that company's stake maybe just kind of cashes in on their relevancy and just sells it off. So that way they just investment done. We're gonna move on to other things. Here you go, Apple. I don't know. I'm just throwing a random fucking company. It's probably not tangible, but you
I
know what I'm
mean,
saying? Like that's a
it,
possibility,
it's
and then it could be stable.
it's possible because Twitch did that. Before it was Justin TV, then they changed the name to Twitch, and then
Mm-hmm.
2014 they sold to Amazon for a couple
Mm-hmm.
$1 billion, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's possible that Kick could be that same way, but the way they're spending their money, I don't see any backers really putting money into that except for them basing off their cryptocurrency earnings. That's about it. Maybe if there's like another backer behind it, I could see it happening. But so far, it's just them putting out the money. And since they're not making their own web-based service and they're using it from somebody else, who would want to invest in that?
Twitter, excuse me.
Twitter.
Oh, sorry.
I don't think
Apologies.
Twitter needs it because they already have technically their own web-based service, and they could. And Elon said he wants to make his own streaming platform, and he could easily do it on Twitch. That's why he brought Periscope back.
But if there's a foundation already there,
Well,
why make another
Twitch
foundation?
has the foundation. It's Periscope, and they canceled
Ah,
that.
well, I cancel it. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Just,
it's possible.
just,
I mean, a lot of people do startup companies all the time and sell it off just based for profit.
yep. Yep.
This one, I feel like they have too much self-investment in there, and that's why I won't sell to anyone else. But who knows? Mixer did it. That was backed by Microsoft. Will they sell it off? Who knows? Will they crumble? Who knows? Only a couple months we'll see.
But what we do know, for anybody else that follows this podcast, when we talk about something, give it 10 days.
Give it
Something
10
happens.
days. It's funny. We always have this. We have this very weird odyssey where we talk about something and then it happens. Because like last week or last episode, I think I talked about furries and all that stuff. And then
Yes, you
recently,
did.
this today. Well, was it today? Yeah, today. Joe Rogan released a podcast with him wearing a furry suit talking about furries. I'm like, what? I just talked about this now. He's doing it, and a couple other people. Obviously, he did it as a joke, but like it was just funny seeing him and a couple other big podcast streamers having fursuits on for no reason. And I was just like,
Yeah.
that's weird.
Well, it stems beyond that, but yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see if anything that we brought up today actually, we talk something into fruition.
Yeah. But it'll be interesting to see. Hope. I mean, like I said, like we both said, competition is good.
For sure.
It seems like the two
Uh,
real
co-
competitors, YouTube and Twitch, but maybe
have a
Kick
third
has
party.
something. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, competition is always good. Like you said, kudos to those that are capitalizing on them. They're the real winners in this game. And like I said, my take is it may take a moment, but I think there will be some good in all of this with that competition. You'd think the latter, but that's fine. As I often say, time will tell.
I said that it'd be good for the streamers.
Yeah.
Like the people getting the contracts, they're making bank regardless if it falls or not.
Now they're making dumb bank, but they're the pioneers at this time, so to speak.
So congrats to
And
them for taking advantage, because if
yeah,
they go down, they already cashed that money.
exactly. It's just a win-win-win. All I do is win, no matter what. Oh shit! Copyright infringement.
I will say that the one thing Kick has done that Mixer didn't do is, even though they signed some names, they didn't get that retention rate, the new followers that they're hoping for. The fact that within a week they've gained over 2 million new users is pretty incredible. Like Mixer couldn't even do that, and that was run by Microsoft. So
What year did the Mixer thing happen?
I want to say maybe 2017 or 18, maybe a little bit beforehand, but it only
Mm.
lasted for like 2 or 3 years.
So the reason why I asked that question is because I think it's no secret that the streaming world really blew up during COVID,
Mm-hmm.
just as a whole. So that might have been something where once again they might have been a little bit ahead of their time.
Well, Facebook also did it during that time too, and now they're done with that.
Yeah, well, same thing, right? Ahead of the time. I mean,
Well,
COVID
no, they did
really.
it when COVID happened, and people were signing
Oh,
contracts with them. They're not as big as the Mixer contracts, but there
uh-huh.
was people going over to Facebook exclusively because of the contracts.
Mm,
But they killed that one off almost immediately. Like it was like a year, and that's it.
mm. I, I I didn't even, I wasn't even aware of that. But yeah, we shall see.
Mm-hmm.
We shall see.
And who knows? Maybe, just maybe, you might see. No, I'm just joking. You're not gonna see the Automan podcast on Kick. I mean, who
Not
knows? Maybe,
happening.
maybe you will. Maybe you will. Depending if Twitch dies, you might see it there.
Well, yeah, I think we already kind of have our
Home
home.
bases, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube.
Well,
Those are the cemented spots.
well, exactly. And I was gonna bring up more like the live then could be ushered in at YouTube. I mean, we already have like a condo built there, right? So it's like,
I thought you said condom, but we'll go with condo.
yes, I totally said condom because you gotta have protection, right?
I don't know. My headset's a little low, so I was like, condo, condom. Which one do you go for?
No,
I'm gonna assume condo, but
we have an
who knows?
establishment
We
built
we
there.
got
Okay,
protection.
we got protection.
But yeah, so it would just be interesting to see how this goes. I would say to see a concrete yes or no if this is going to succeed, I would give it 3 whole months after this to see if they can maintain that new viewership, or if it increases. If it increases, that's a good sign for them. But if it starts to decrease, it's usually a telltale sign that a company might start folding in on itself.
All right, so by the year's end.
Yes. By the year's end, they may be kicked off the internet.
Hi-oh, pun intended.
All right, but I think that's it. I really want to play Crash Team Rumble. I know you have to
Yeah,
go pack and see
I
some
have.
wrestling.
Yep, I have to pack, and I'm also gonna pack and enjoy some cheesecake
From the Cheesecake Factory.
because I am a glutton. Actually, it's not from Cheesecake Factory. It's just typical refrigerated cheesecake.
Speaking of the Cheesecake Factory, I
Yeah.
know we're trying to end this. They sell more than just cheesecakes there.
Oh yeah, they have a full menu of food.
I did not know that. I went there recently because there's one in LaGrange, and I was like, oh yeah, sweet, sure, I'll take a stop. And I'm like, burgers, fries, what the hell?
Like, am I in the right place?
I'm like, I think this is a cheesecake factory. I see what
Sir,
cheesecake on the menu.
sir, I said, sir, I have a question. Where's the cheesecake?
I said, so why is there a hamburger on this menu? I should see desserts.
Yeah, no, they have a full-fledged menu with alcohol as well.
I was shooketh. I was like, this is not my cheesecake factory.
Yeah, no, that's pretty funny.
But is there anything you want to add, or?
Um, no, I don't think there is anything I want to add at this time.
All right. So as we say every single week, if there's anything we talked about during this episode, please feel free to share your opinions if you agree, disagree, or whatever else you want to add. Um, if make sure to also follow the Real Shiesty on his YouTube so you can see him unboxing more ring cards and clickbaiting us thinking he got the real card. Or me, if you want to see Diablo, Final Fantasy 16 Let's Plays, or any other games that I play in the future. We both have separate channels if you guys want to go continue to see more besides just the Automatic Podcast stuff. Other than that, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.